has any questions now, just raise your hand and we'll get to it. Just before that, I just have one question.
Yeah.
We were talking before about your kind of idea of what you want Ireland and kind of Scotland to be together. You just want to kind of share that with everyone kind of in the audience?
Yeah, okay. If you can think about, I don't know if this has any merit or not, this is from the most non-political point of view ever. I'm not saying anything about Protestant, I'm not saying anything about Catholic. I'm only saying about the current Brexit situation. I would just love Ireland, Northern Ireland and Scotland to join together in like a union of Celtic nations. Is that possible? Can we do that? Can we organize, like you guys are going to be in politics and stuff, can we organize this? Can we start it here today? And just tell them that Hodor said so. It'll be all right. But yeah, I just, it's an interesting situation we're facing at the minute. I always try to see 2 points of view to things, but it's hard. It's kind of hard to see a positive one for some of them.
Any questions now's the chance. Yeah, yourself.
So if you could have dinner with anyone alive or dead, who would it be and what would you talk about?
Wow. That's an interesting question. If you didn't hear that, that was if I could have dinner with anyone alive or dead, who would it be and what would we talk about? Can I think about that one?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm going to keep that in the back of my mind for the next questions. I'll probably forget about it, but yeah. You had one as well?
Yeah. Do you plan on continuing with acting, or are you going to focus on music for the foreseeable future?
Yeah, I have a number of acting projects coming up after Christmas, actually. So I've got a movie coming up and I have a Netflix show. So it's pretty busy. But I am going into the studio in January to produce some more music. So it's really hectic at the moment. It's kind of hard to... It's hard. It's like shooting fish in a barrel sometimes. But while there's still daylight hours, I never thought I would see myself as someone who worked hard. I do work hard though now, don't I? I mean, I was always very lazy, to be honest. I never really pushed myself, but I really had an awakening in the last few years that the only way to be truly successful is to give up most of your life. Unfortunately, not unless you win the lottery or marry someone rich. But yeah, I think you do have to sacrifice a huge part of your life if you want to do what you want to do.
Oh, yourself there?
Yeah.
Who's your favourite Game of Thrones character?
That varies sometimes. I think probably Cersei, actually. I love Cersei. I like a good Disney witch. I think especially with the last episode, that was incredible. I mean, I'm into female characters, and I really like Brienne and Arya as well. And also, I love Varys, the spider. I think Conleth is another incredible Irish actor. Yeah, those would be my favourite 4, I would say.
And so, obviously, in the show, you're only able to say one thing. Do you feel like, as an actor, did you feel that your potential to kind of develop as an actor was limited by only having one thing to say? Or?
At first, maybe perhaps. I mean, I didn't really get it at first, especially before when I first got the part. I remember actually coming home from the audition, and you had read the books. My mother had read the books, and I said, "This show Game of Thrones, and the character's Hodor," and you knew who I was talking about, and. Yeah, at first, it definitely took me a few years to definitely inhabit the role properly. I know it did. And I took it more as a challenge in the last years because it feels so unnatural to have to convey all these emotions and not be able to use your language. But I think it's a different kind of art. It's a different kind of acting. But I definitely saw it as a challenge. And no, it hasn't really inhibited it at all. It's only been a positive experience, actually.
Sorry.
Are you just clear?
I thought you were saying something else. Well, I just started watching Game of Thrones 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
To be honest, I was living under a rock. I finished all the seasons in, I think, 4 days. So
what? Are you okay? That's a lot of death and porn. Well, death and porn are addictive. You know, porn is. But go ahead. Sorry, Mom. What are you saying?
what is your favorite, of the favorite episodes?
I would be biased if I said The Door. I genuinely feel that that's one of the coolest things I've done, especially because I was there to see how long it took. But I mean, I can't remember individual episodes, but I mean, The Red Wedding was a really good episode, a horrendous episode. I liked the episode where Daenerys takes over the Unsullied army and sort of frees herself from the slavers. That's a really good episode too. But I also loved when Varys and Littlefinger were still in King's Landing. I used to love the sort of interplay between those two characters, because obviously they're the opposite of me as Hodor. Everything they do is so verbal, and their dialogue was incredible. So those would be my favourite parts, although I don't know individual episode names.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hello.
Hi. Did you know from early on what his fate was, like that, what made him Hodor, or was that like just revealed to you like in this?
No, it actually, people joke about the fact that we all have sort of bets that we die every year between the actors, but it's kind of true, you know, it is true. Is it not? Why are you staring at me blankly, Isaac? I know it's your natural facial expression, but we do. You're not even listening. Thank you. We every year we would get scripts, and we get scripts at different times. It depends what episode you're filming. If you're in episode 1, you'll have your scripts before someone who starts in episode 2. So Finn Jones, who plays the Knight of Flowers, he got the scripts before me. And I remember calling, because we're quite good friends, I would call him, and I said, so jokingly, I said, so do I make it to the end of the season? And there was just this silence. I was like, really? But then he said, don't worry, dude, it's a really cool scene, you're going to love it. And he was right. I read it, and I completely loved it. I thought it was a good send-off for a character that I loved. Yeah, I was fairly happy. It's very strange, I have to say. It's very strange to see it continuing without me. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing season 7 as one of you guys, really, because it's always gets spoiled for me as I read the scripts and... Spoilers? Yeah, okay. Hi.
Hi. Do you forgive Bran for what happened?
No. Do I forgive Bran for what happened? Was the question. That's a complex question. I think Hodor does, but I don't. Because we're very different people. Hodor is a much nicer person than I am. I'm much more forgiving. I think he did what he had to do. But yeah, it was tragic. Absolutely tragic. But yeah, Hodor forgives him. I don't. That's the best answer I can give you. Yeah.
Do you miss it, or are you glad that you got a chance to move on to do different things?
I miss the camaraderie and I miss the people involved and the crew and the cast. But I actually am ready to do different things. Really, there's only so many years you can say this one word without getting a little ready to move on to something different. I mean, I may never do anything as good as that again. I mean, I believe it's one of, if not the best show that's ever been produced. Like, what do you do from now? Pantomime? You know, but I don't know what's going to happen, but things are looking very good. And I am glad to have the chance to do something different. Yeah, either of you.
What was your all-time favourite way to say Hodor?
You know, it's weird that I actually do have one of these. There was a scene, I think it was in season 3, where Hodor and Osha are building a tent whilst the Reeds and you are you're sort of leisurely eating a meal or something, and that we're left to do all the menial tasks. And that's what she's conveying to me. And she's like a housewife giving off about her chores. And I'm sort of looking at her going, what are you talking about? And it was that one. And it was so nice that was what I tried to convey. And that's quite complex with one word, believe it or not. And everyone just got it. I remember after that episode went out, everyone was like, oh my God, that was my favourite Hodor ever. And I was like, yeah, I managed to get that across. So I was actually very pleased with myself. No. That's a whole extra fee. Or just a fee. Not really. Hodor. And the person behind you?
Yeah, was there anything that happened particularly in your early 20s that gave you that sense of confidence, or was it just something like naturally over time that happened?
It was very natural. That's what I'm saying. When I was writing this on the turbulent flight, I really tried to think about what the happening was that made me change. But yeah, I mean, you're a confident person, Mum, and like there's definitely an element of fuck you inside you. You know, and that took a while to kick in with me, and not in a disrespectful way. I mean, just to push back, and just to be confident in my own skin, and resilience. I grew into it. You know, I just got fed up. I was very shy. I was a very shy kid, a very shy teenager. It's just you can never, as a tall person, you can never hide. You can never sort of blend in with the crowd. But you have to use that to your advantage. That's what I realized. There's no point in shying away from it. It is what it is. I'm not going to be able to change it. So you just have to harness it and use it for your advantage. I think that's just what I realized. Hi.
Hi.
I'm looking at you. Yeah, cheeky eye.
So if you had like a plan B, if you hadn't become an actor or a DJ, what would you have done?
I was studying to be a sign language interpreter.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it was random. But I had hearing problems when I was a kid. And I always felt connected with the hearing impaired community. And I was studying, I had got to a certain level of sign language. I believe that helped me with the role of Hodor as well, because obviously you're communicating with your body language and your facial expressions. It always felt very natural. Like in primary school and secondary school, I always would have to sit at the front of the class because I couldn't really hear what the teacher was saying. And obviously now my hearing is fine, and I became a DJ and I've deafened myself all over again. And that was smart. So yeah, I was studying to be a sign language interpreter. Hello.
Oh, as far as your music career goes, where do you want to end up? Like, do you want to end up making your own music, or do you want to?
I don't know. I mean, I am the same person that was sitting in my 16-year-old career teacher's office who would ask me what I want to be when I'm grown up. I don't know. I don't know where this is going to end. This might be the end. I might be working in Iceland by next year. Who knows that? But I'm going to continue to follow it bravely. It's the only way. No one knows what's going to happen, and anyone who says they are is bullshitting. Especially in today's climate, anything can happen, as we've all just seen. And yeah, it's just be brave and follow what happens and be positive about it. It's the only way to do it. But yeah, I would like to play the guitar again. I would love to be back at playing in bands, but I just don't have time to follow that at the minute. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Hello.
On Game of Thrones, who's your favourite actor to work with? Do you have one?
No. Yeah, I mean, I love working with Isaac. I mean, Game of Thrones is filmed also separately. It's hard to imagine. I think we had 3 or 4 complete units working in different countries all at the same time. So you would never see, like, I would never see Daenerys or Amelia, or, I mean, we never really saw each other. Maybe in a hotel or a convention or something like that. But really, the experience of the people I work with, I love working with Natalia Tena. She's a lot of fun and absolutely nuts to work with a fixation on sausages. If you ever see Natalia, if you give her a sausage, she will love you. So, some of these, this is going to come back and haunt me sometime. You know. She's going to slap me. But yeah, I love working with Isaac. I mean, we definitely bonded instantly, didn't we? Yeah, don't even look at me like that. Why are you here? You know, hello? Yeah, the first day we met, I'll just tell you this story. First day we met, it was going very well. We tried on the saddle and stuff. That sounds I feel like a show pony. But I was playing a Harry Potter spells app because that's what was cool back then. And you noticed what I was playing, because obviously the conversation had dried up. I was playing with my app, and you were like, "Can I have a go?" Because you're always right up in my grill, aren't you? Right up in my face, always. Basically, we spent most of these seasons with Isaac attached to me like a limpet, even when the cameras weren't on, didn't you? Weren't you? Yeah. He said yes. Anyway, not that I was complaining, because well, this day, I think he did a very aggressive Expelliarmus, and my phone went flying 800 feet into the air and smashed into smithereens. Just the first day I met you, he broke my phone. And he always tried to say it was the fault of my phone case. But yeah, we've had such a laugh over the last 6 years, and I would love to say I miss him, but I don't, because we can't get rid of him. No, yeah, I think we'll be friends for life, won't we? Yeah, I do. I feel like you're my little brother, and that's in bad ways. It's good, because sometimes I think you need a slap. Anyway, I'm getting parental. Yeah.
So, hypothetically speaking, if you were in Hogwarts...
Sorry, hold on a second.
If you were in Hogwarts, which house would you want to...
Sorry, there's a guy here. I'm answering. Sorry. 2 seconds, guys.
He wants to know if...
I can tell.
Oh. He wants to know if you would ever become assigned to Joker after you're finished acting. How did you learn? Yes. Are you finished acting?
Yeah. I really need to practice. In the future, I would really like to study it again, but so thank you. Yeah, I really need to. I'm really out of practice, honestly. Anyway, thank you. Anybody else?
What do you think of the actor playing the young Hodor? Does it fit how you imagine him?
What do I think of the actor playing the young Hodor? And what was the second part?
Does it fit how you were portraying the young Hodor character?
That's an interesting question, actually. I haven't really thought about that. I thought it was, yeah, I think he did a really good job, actually. I think, yeah, they picked a really good. The look-wise was perfect. Strangely, he didn't look like me as a child, but he looked like a younger version of Hodor, which is weird. But yeah, I think it'll be difficult to step into an established character, and difficult for him to step into an established character and sort of try to recreate that. But I think he did a tremendous job, actually. So. Anybody else? Oh, yeah.
Who would your prediction be for the last person in Game of Thrones to sit on the throne?
You know, we're all terrified of this question now in case we say what's actually going to happen. But I'm going to qualify that I know nothing. I don't know anything about what's going to happen, genuinely. So this is all spitballing. I just don't think the throne's going to be important. I know George has been quoted somewhere as saying the only thing that's going to be left is gravestones and the wind blowing over them. So I just think that perhaps there's going to be a better use for the Iron Throne. They're going to have to take that thing apart and use the swords because they're going to need that Valyrian steel for the Whitewalkers. Oh. I really hope it doesn't happen or else I'm in big trouble. On the throne, I think Westeros after, I mean, there's two ways. Like for shits and giggles, I would like to keep Cersei in the throne because that'll be fun, you know. But I think Westeros, after all the sort of turmoil and problems it's had, it needs someone honourable, and I think we need to get Brienne on the throne because she doesn't want it, and you need someone who doesn't want it. I think she would be a good queen. Yep.
I was wondering what your sort of current musical favorites are. Or what's your favorite album of 2016?
That's also a good question. What am I liking at the minute? There's a band from Australia I really like. I don't know if they've made it over here. They're called Client Liaison. No. Hasn't made it here. I'm just come from Australia, so I don't really know. It's like 80s synth pop, but these guys, they have built this product and almost life that they live in 80s clothes, and they drive in an 80s limousine. It's really strange, actually, but really cool also. They really believe the product they're selling, so I would give them a listen. Client Liaison. Yeah, I really like their stuff. They've got some really good EPs and albums out there. But strangely, I get asked all the time for like Spotify playlists and what are my current top 5 club hits. I never know what to say because when you're DJing like 6 nights a week on the road, it's almost like reading hieroglyphics. I don't even see the names of the tracks anymore. I just see like patterns. I don't really remember the names, so I'm never able to give accurate feedback on that, and it makes you feel a bit like an idiot. But I'm still thinking about your question, by the way. Yeah, I haven't come up with anything yet, but no. Okay. Anybody else? Was there someone at the back there? Yeah.
I noticed that you were in the Manilla Major for Dota. Do you actually play any Dota, or?
No, I don't play any Dota. That was just a fortuitous. I was doing a convention in Manila, and they know that I'm a gamer, so they thought it might be cool. It was just after the hold the door bit, so they sort of put 2 and 2 together and thought it might be quite cool. I'm a Warcraft guy, and I don't have time to play anything else, so I just stick to that. It takes up enough of my life and time. I played that for years.
2006.
Yeah, 2006. Wow.
I don't know how I remember it.
Okay. Hi.
Have you any shows around Dublin soon?
Yes. I have one, I think it's just a week before Christmas. Ask me where it is.
Any free tickets?
I don't know where it is. Any free tickets? Hell no. You know, I have bills to pay. You know, I've got, oh, no. I don't know where it is. It'll be on my website, kristiannairn.com. But yeah, I'm playing in Dublin. In fact, it's my last gig before Christmas, which is really nice. I played in the Tivoli about, I think, 4 months ago. It was an amazing night. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back. It's always nice to play in Ireland. There's a different energy here. Scotland has a similar energy, but I played in Galway there recently. I literally thought they were going to tear the place apart, and it was a lot of fun. So I can't wait to get back. Anybody else? Hello.
What was it like carrying Isaac around everywhere?
Look at the size of him. Like, it was okay at the start, to be honest. He was really small and quite insignificant. He's had to listen to the sense of humour for 6 years, so don't worry. Yeah, he grew very fast. I don't think anybody really predicted how fast he would grow. But he's still not that heavy. He's just sort of long. Yeah, it grew increasingly ridiculous because I think before you sort of grew into your legs, there was one season where your legs were really long and they're kind of like trailing along the ground. Yeah. You have a double though, remember Sam? We have a girl double for Bran, her name's Samantha, and a double for me called Brian, who's a wrestler. Interesting information here, folks. You heard it here first. I'm thinking about your question now. So let's see. I would like to have dinner with... Yeah, I'd like to have dinner with myself, a future version of myself, a future version, and because I've got a shitload of questions I want to ask so that I save myself the time of finding out. That's a terrible answer, but it's better than saying like Nelson Mandela or something, because everyone says that. Hello. You again.
If you, as yourself, were in the Game of Thrones, what would your house motto and coat of arms be?
My house motto, Kristian Nairn's house motto, Nairn motto would be, do I have to? That's about right. That's about right, Mum, isn't it? Yeah. People always ask as well, what would be the only word Hodor would say if he could say something else, and what would he say to Bran? If I could say one more word, it would have been no. But he'd be like, hey Hodor, carry me over to that tree, and I'd be like, no. Nah. I don't know why you were talking like this. Because you're in the hood. Boom. Okay, I'm starting to rant now. Go ahead.
How do you think Hodor would have fared in the Iron Throne?
How would he fare?
How do you think Hodor would have gotten on if he got the Iron Throne?
I think lobotomy would be required before he takes the Iron Throne. I mean, I think he would be a fair and pretty pointless king. I don't think really much would change. I don't think he'd be a good king. He'd be a nice king, that's for sure. But yeah, I don't think he'd do very well. I think most of the ruling would be done by his, what do you call that thing with a pen? King's hand. Which would probably be you. And that's bad. Anybody else? Are we drying up? Oh no, we're not. Hi.
If you could play any other characters in Game of Thrones, who would it be?
A really weird version of Arya. Like, as myself, you know, trying to be like a stealthy ninja. But I think Arya's a character I love very dearly, and yeah, Maisie's amazing. Maisie's amazing. Maisie's amazing. Is there someone in the middle there?
Hi, I've got two questions.
That's good.
The first one is which character you hate the most in the show? And the second one is, do you mind becoming one of those Whitewalkers in season 7?
Which character do I hate most in the show? I always get in trouble for saying this. I really am not a big fan of Jon Snow. See? It's like bore off. I don't know. I just... I don't know. It's just maybe it's. I'm just trying to be cool and go against, be a bit counterculture, a bit edgy. I don't know. But I remember getting in trouble for saying that in the Daily Mail's sidebar of shame. At one stage, they asked me about do you think Jon Snow's still alive? And I was like, I don't care. Because literally it was like the 16th time I'd been asked that day. And the next thing in the papers the next day it was, Kristian Nairn hates Kit Harington. And I'm like, no, I quite like Kit. Kit's a great guy. I don't really hate him. But yeah, I mean, yeah, he's like the One Direction of Game of Thrones. He's the one everyone loves. He's the posters that you kiss goodnight, lipstick marks in the Jon Snow poster. And if I'm coming back as a White Walker is a mystery. Who knows? I don't know. Would I? Fuck yes. I definitely would. I would love to rip Bran's head off and shit down his neck. But Hodor wouldn't. Hodor likes him. Yeah, I'm trying to keep constant here with what I said earlier. White Walker Hodor is completely different. He's different. Yes, you're at the back.
Do you think Bran will make it to the end?
I hope so. I mean, it's one of the most, I think he's got one of the most interesting storylines. I mean, they try to keep, I think one of the reasons why Game of Thrones is so successful is there's a little bit of mystery and sort of magic, and there's got your White Walkers and you've got your dragons, but it's not too sort of unicorny and fairy-ish, which I would love some more unicorns. I would love to have spent 5 seasons riding a big unicorn. But I mean, I think that's why it's crossed over into popular culture and with people who don't necessarily like fantasy, because it's not too far-fetched. It's more about family drama and sort of that sort of thing. I think. What was the question? This is called waxing lyric. Yeah, and I think Bran's storyline is that another little element of sort of mystery and magic, and I really like it. I want to see. I honestly don't know what's going to happen. I haven't asked you, have I? No. So I don't know what's going to happen. So I want it to be a surprise. But I hope you make it to the end.
Sorry, you keep on talking to Bran as if he's here.
He's here? I'm not like... You think I'm having some sort of episode? Wow. Who else didn't know he was here? Why haven't you given me tablets? I would have needed medicated. Oh, bloody hell. That's like denial of not being in Game of Thrones anymore. I carry like a phantom Bran on my shoulder. I put him there for this speech. Fucking hell. Anyway, back to reality. There was someone else, wasn't there? From this plane of reality.
Yeah, hi. If you can, which character would you like to resuscitate?
Resuscitate? I mean, it would be really boring, but I think if you brought back Ned Stark, half the cool stuff wouldn't happen, probably. I think that was the sort of balls starting to roll of all the chaos. But I think it would be kind of interesting to bring him back. He was such a cool character. But then that's kind of, I think that was the moment that people started to get really hooked on Game of Thrones. They really didn't know who was safe. Like he was on all the artwork, all the posters, all the DVD boxes, and he must have thought he was on a pretty safe gig. And so did everyone else. And all of a sudden it's like, and that was when all bets were off. And I think that was one of the reasons why Game of Thrones became so popular. But I would still like to bring him back because I thought he was a really cool character. Mm-hmm.
What character's dead did you find saddest?
Sorry?
What character's dead did you
like saddest?
Catelyn Stark. That killed me. I mean, that was sad. I mean, that was also losing Richard and Michelle, and also Una. They've been with us since the start of season 1. I couldn't watch that scene at first because I knew it was coming. I had to avoid it. But yeah, I think she did such a phenomenal job in that scene. I don't think anyone's ever. I mean, I don't think anyone in the show has ever deserved an Emmy more than what her performance in that episode. Yeah, that would definitely be my most heart-wrenching death. Is someone behind you as well? Yeah. Yeah.
How do you think Hodor would have responded seeing the dragons?
Hodor. I know that's how exactly he would respond. I think he would try to hug them. Is it wise to hug a dragon? I don't know. But I'm sure he would have tried. Yeah.
Just in response to that question, you told us like your most heart-wrenching death, but what was your favorite death? Which is the one that you just thought, yes, thank God.
I can't say it. I'm not going to share that. My favourite death. I did enjoy Joffrey's squirm. I'm not going to lie, but that's too obvious. Yeah, Ramsay Bolton. I like seeing him getting his face. I didn't like seeing him getting his face chewed off by a dog. Spoilers. But yeah, it was somehow satisfying. He definitely deserved it. A horrible piece of shit. Such a nice guy in real life. But yeah, he's a dastardly character. Yeah, that was him. Yeah.
If you reverse like one event that happened in the show, like the Red Wedding or Bran breaking his leg, or what was the one thing you would change?
Well, you know, the whole Bran breaking his legs thing, I think we theorised one day that a lot of shit happened because of him breaking his legs. A lot, wasn't it? It was all built on that. All this chaos. All because he had this peer in a window. No, but not that. What would I reverse? I'm flicking through 6 years here of like every episode having some sort of major event in it. It's quite difficult. Reverse. I kind of like Sirio Farrell. I would like to have seen him in it slightly more. So we don't know if he died or not, though. I know there's all sorts of fan theories about that. But yeah, I would have liked him to stay in the show a bit more so that he wouldn't have got killed. Yep.
Do you believe the Jon Targaryen theory, or were you shocked about that?
Do I believe the... That kind of goes in my Jon Snow folder of don't give up. I don't really know much about that, you know. It's almost as if my brain turns off when it's on. Who can educate me here about the Jon Snow and the Targaryen rumour? And has it been confirmed in the show? Has it been confirmed yet? Yes. It has been confirmed. It's to do with that Tower of Joy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Shut up. Okay. So what happened? Yeah, right. I'm nominating you. Yeah, you.
Okay, so basically the theory is that Jon Snow's actual parents are Lyanna and Rhaegar? Yeah, Rhaegar Targaryen.
Mm-hmm.
And since they basically had like their own like affair before Robert's rebellion, and then it's that son, and then Ned takes in Jon, and basically Lyanna says, "Oh, promise me, Ned," is basically because she was afraid that Robert was going to kill Jon, so that's why he's been keeping, he's been holding on to him. It's been like kind of a secret for him, and basically it was kind of proved in the show. That's kind of.
So what do I think of that? Well, I mean, I believe it because it's been now proven. I didn't know about it before, so as far as I know, it was a fact. I know it was talked about for a long time in forums and stuff. I was only joking, by the way. I didn't think it was going to be proved true because, you know, I thought it was a wee bit obvious, because if I was George and I saw so many people getting it right, I would have been like, I'm going to change that. But yeah, it's interesting. It'd be interesting to see how Jon progresses with that. Does he know? No? Okay. See, that's terrible, I have to ask this.
Yeah, Bran knows.
You know? Okay. Okay. Thank you for the education, guys.
We had heard controversies that the script writers would actually send you off scripts in which, you know, fake scripts actually that predicted your death. Was that true? I read about it somewhere that, you know, the script writers would actually give their characters fake scripts, and, you know, in which it said that they're going to die.
It's happened a few times. The one I know of is Alfie. Remember the Alfie thing? I think they gave Alfie Allen a script in season 1 or 2 that Bran was going to kill him. Yeah, on my back. Yeah, like that he was going to be killed, and he was going to come back as a zombie or something. It was something awful. It was really bad, and they left it with him for a long time. And I think they almost forgot to tell him it was a joke. And he just sort of glumly accepted. Oh, okay. So he eventually found out the truth, obviously. Yeah, so they are known to do that. They do play tricks on people. My death wasn't a joke. Yeah.
Would you together as a cast, would you watch the show together when it comes out, or?
I mean, we all tend to be in different parts of the world. We do get a screener sometimes. We would sometimes, and at the premiere, we get to see the first couple of episodes. But as far as I know, we don't have like natural evenings. It'd be weird if we were closer together, I'm sure. But we do comment on each other's work and stuff. Like you get texts and stuff. If someone has a particularly interesting or challenging scene, we would definitely comment on each other's work. Yeah.
How was the scene where Hodor was naked?
There's a story. Yeah. Okay. Well, before I took the role, one of the caveats was you don't mind doing a nude scene, and I said, oh, well, as long as you give me a prosthetic, I'll be happy, because at the time you were like 8 or 9, or 10, maybe, I don't know what it was, but I'm not parading around in front of a child. How weird. And also, I don't have a 16-inch penis, so I don't want one either. Thank you very much. So that was basically one of the most tragic days of my life. You better close your ears for this, Mum. So it was a rainy day. It was a stormy, grey, typical Belfast day, really. And we went to this wooded glade just outside Belfast in Carryduff, actually. And they produced this prosthetic. They actually produced 2. One had tight black afro hair, and I was like, it doesn't really match. And the other was kind of similar. So I didn't really realize how they were going to attach it to me. But they turned it into like a G-string horrible thing. And they had to plait and glue the pubic hair into my own. Yeah, so a makeup girl had to do this. And when I was like standing like, and then she had to paint it to match my own skin color. Very dignified. And actually, I would be finding glue in my own sort of area for about 2 or 3 weeks afterwards. Yeah, that was fun. So we went, and it was raining, and I was stood there. I would be hiding in a bush. And you remember the pheasants? Every time I moved from this bush, there would be the pheasants, and they would go, ah, I guess. So we had to reset the scene. And this went on and on and on. And they promised me it would be a closed set, and there was everybody. I think there were people who didn't even work on the show there. You know, there were people who owned the land that we were filming on, and I'm like, why are you here? So it was highly traumatic, and but somehow freeing. Although I haven't had the urge to disrobe in public spaces since, which is probably a good thing. Yep.
I know this isn't like the Jon Snow folder, but did you think he's going to come back?
Pardon?
Did you think he's going to come back?
Who?
The way you cast him,
Is he not back already?
Did you think, like, was it a big reveal of the cast?
Oh, I knew he was going to come back. I mean, we knew that for a year. Yeah, and it was so hard. It's so hard. Like, that's one thing, another good thing about not being in the show anymore is that I can't give any spoilers anymore. Because I have a really big mouth, as I'm sure you've realised by now. I have trouble with keeping things to myself. I have been in trouble for it before. And yeah, it's just nice to know that whatever I say, it's just waffle about the future of the show, which I don't know at all. So I'm perfectly free. Yeah, but we did know he was coming back, and it was very difficult not to say, because that's all anyone wanted to know. So, yeah.
Hi, I don't need to be rude now.
That's okay. Go right ahead.
Do you mind if I ask Isaac a question?
Pardon?
Do you mind if I ask Isaac a question?
A what?
Isaac.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Is that your question? Or she's asking your question?
What's it like working with Kristian?
Oh. Do you want the microphone? I'm not coming to you.
It's a nightmare. No, Kristian and I have now, like 6-7 years, we've been forced into very close proximity.
Like this.
Yeah. But I think I'd always sing SpongeBob songs into all day long. No, working with Kristian has been so much fun. As Kristian said, he's like a big brother to me and bullies me, but it's also very, very lovely. So yeah, it's been lovely working with Kristian.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
When you first joined the show, did you ever think it would get as big as it became?
I don't think any of us did. Well, I mean, I'd never heard of the books before. My mother had read the books, and she obviously expected it was going to be huge. But the first day I went on set, and I saw the sort of the detail and the size of the production, I kind of thought, yeah, they're putting everything into this. This is going to be big. But before that, I hadn't a clue. But I don't think, I mean, I think the success of Game of Thrones has scaled. Season 1, it was big in America, kind of in the UK. Would never be recognised anywhere. Same with Season 2. Season 3, it started to change. Season 4, it really started to change. It's grown. So I think that was a good way for us, for it to happen, rather than straight in at the start. But I don't think we ever expected that it's going to get as big as it did. Like I'm lucky to travel a lot, and it's bizarre to travel to the absolute opposite end of the world, like in Perth or Alaska, Russia, the most remote places, and there's still people waiting at the airport and stuff. And I'm just a boy from Belfast. And that's still how I see myself. That's all I am. And it still feels very strange. Hi. You.
I know Isaac already sit down.
Yeah.
But I was just wondering if Isaac, if you felt like Kristian was kind of a safety blanket for you while you were acting Game of Thrones, and how you feel like you're going to manage like a totally new role that Bran has become.
I mean, scraping noises in the background.
Yeah, I think it was always nice. You'd check the call sheet in the morning, and if you knew that Kristian was going to be on set, you'd go, "Oh, thank goodness, I've got someone to
carry
bully."
me.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
Carry me.
But so you mean when I do other things, I don't get someone carrying me around with me?
What?
No one told me this.
So what was the question again?
No, I'm sorry. I was trying to make a joke, but it didn't work.
You're here all week.
Yeah, no, I wish I could have a personal Hodor for every other role, but alas not.
You haven't asked me. You can pay me. Okay, you go away now.
If you could describe Tyrian Lannister in one word except the word Hodor.
Well, that's easy. Tyrian.
Yes.
What word to choose? Interesting. I mean, he is. He is interesting. That kind of sums it up, I think. I do like the character. I'm a big fan of Tyrion. So.
Besides being killed by the Whitewalkers, did you have any preferred methods behind your mind on how should Hodor die in Game of Thrones?
I hadn't really thought of it. Honestly, I thought I was going to make it to the end, to be honest. But unfortunately not, it would appear. I am just glad that it was a cool way to go, because I honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised if he'd just fallen off the side of a cliff. You know, he's just like, oh shit. Or like a piano had fallen on his head, or... But yeah, I didn't really have any theories on it because I thought I was going to make it. But I was very happy with the way he went. Yeah.
You said earlier you were working on a Netflix series. Can you
Yeah.
tell us anything about that?
Yeah, I can't give too many details, but it's a fantasy type show, slightly higher fantasy than Game of Thrones. There's like shapeshifters and stuff, and it's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to getting started. A very, very different type character, obviously. I won't do another Hodor-esque character. I've turned down quite a few, actually. It just doesn't interest me, because I think if I'm going to do that sort of thing, I don't think I can get any better than Hodor. I think he's the pinnacle of one-word characters, including Groot. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about it, actually. It's very cool. That's all I can say. I wish I could tell you more.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm just wondering, what was your favourite set to work on, or favourite place to work on?
I mean, I'm immensely proud that so much of Game of Thrones was filmed in Northern Ireland, because it's really beautiful. It's just like the rest of Ireland. It's a really beautiful place, and obviously we've been sort of tarred with a bit of a bad reputation over the years because of all the troubles and stuff. So it's just nice to see a really talented crew come from Northern Ireland, come together and work on this show, and using the locations that are so spectacularly beautiful, all of which are like half an hour's drive away from my house. But the set, I remember, I think it was the day when we left Winterfell, when it was burning in the background. We were up on top of a mountain, and you could see right up the top of this incredible mountain on the sort of northern coast of Northern Ireland, and you can see all the weather coming in and stuff, and it'll be like circling the top of the mountain and stuff. I really liked it up there. It was damn cold. And where else? I mean, all of our stuff was basically filmed in Northern Ireland, most of it. Even the snowy stuff, that was all false snow. That was like little pieces of paper. Yeah, that would have been my favourite, the mountaintop.
How do you deal with all the love and attention that you received after
It was unexpected. I mean, when I read the scene, I knew it was going to be big. I didn't expect the reaction it got. I didn't expect to see President Obama name check me. That was, you know, there's a funny story about this. I only realized this a few days ago, that about maybe 10, 15 years ago, before all this happened, I was just a DJ back in Belfast, and my friend's, you're gonna hate this, my friend's sister was a psychic, and she still is, probably. And she told me that just randomly in the middle of this usual bullshit of like the usual crap, you know what it's like, and she said, "You're going to have some interaction with the President of the United States." And I was like, "What?" Like, that's a fairly disprovable thing to say. Like, I can definitely come back in 10 years' time and say, I haven't been to the White House for dinner. But there was President Obama name-checking me. I don't know if that counts, but it just came back to me. I didn't expect the reaction. I've watched the reaction videos, some of them, and I still get people every day someone says, "I cried for 3 days," or whatever. Like a woman on a Delta flight in America recently, she like pushed people out of the way and across 3 seats. She didn't even say hello. She just goes, "I cried for 3 days." And I was just like, sorry. I never know how to react to that. Do I apologize? Do I say, "Thank you, I made you cry"? I don't know, but I didn't expect it.
Time is starting to wrap up, so how about like 2 more questions, and then we can start moving on.
Do you have a favorite tattoo?
Yes, I do. I'm about to get another one, by the way, so that may be my favorite afterwards. I got that in Las Vegas about 2 years ago, and it's a character from World of Warcraft. Yes, I am really that sad. And I love it. I don't give a shit. So, yeah. And it's going to be another work. I'm 2 minds, actually. I'm either going to get a hedge. That sounds like the worst tattoo ever. A hedge. But it's actually really nice, trust me. Or another Warcraft character. So, but that's my favourite for now. That's my favourite. Or I like that one too. That's from Watership Down. Anyone seen Watership Down? Yeah, it's the Black Rabbit. And a little verse from the book. I like that too. Worked out to have a bit of a fixation with rabbits. Not in a dark sort of sexual way, but I do kind of like rabbits. Although I had a pet rabbit and that didn't go very well. The hamsters didn't go very well either. Not in a Richard Gere way. Sorry, I don't think you knew that. I'm not even going to bring that up. Yeah, my rabbit didn't last very long. I think I released him into the wild. His name was Blackberry. He's dead now. And there was one more, I think. This better be good. Oh man, there's so much pressure.
Oh man.
No, really.
Do you do DJ sets in the north at all, like in Belfast or Derry? Like, I'd love to.
Yeah, I mean, I did one in Belfast not so long ago. I mean, I feel bad that I don't play more in Belfast, but I'm never home. I'm never, ever home. I played there for 15 years, so what the hell were you doing for 15 years? You should have came and saw me then. No, yeah, I will definitely play in Belfast again. Derry, I don't know. I just roll with whatever comes in. I used to play in Derry every week. So I did, many years ago, but not in a long time. But as I say, the best way is KristianNairn.com. You'll find out where my movements are.
Well, perfect. I'm just going to present you the award as well. Thank you very much.
It's very difficult.
And we get one final round of applause.
Thank you very much, guys.
Isaac, can I just get a photo with you as well?
Yeah.
Thank you. Really, really quickly. Just a quick photo. Just between the two of you.
Do I get an award too?
Yeah, you can have that. Chris.